All right, we've made it to day 2 of March Madness and the Friday edition of Daily Bread coming at you live right at 11 o'clock. Tip off is in an hour and 15 minutes. So, the number one spot to be before locking in your college hoops. And we got a good NBA slate as well. So, we might end up running to noon because we don't know how much college basketball we could potentially talk with the full slate again. It is the best time of the year. We appreciate you tapping in with us. If this is your second, third, or if you're a daily viewer, we appreciate it. First time, what's up? You're already going to know Friday episodes get off the wheels, even though it's early in the morning. We got a lot to potentially discuss from last night, a lot of good action today. So we appreciate all of you as usual. The show is powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be checking them out if you want to get in on the weekend footy action, NHL, NBA plays if March Madness is not your thing, or if you want even more plays than that's given out here for free, you already know. Tomorrow we'll be live on @Paid for Play, 10:30 a.m., going through the first round of 32 slates. So same YouTube channel, different Twitter channel if you're there. Make sure to give us a like, a retweet, and a follow if you already aren't on Twitter. And then give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube as well. Definitely helps us out. And then hop over to YouTube where you can feature your bets. We had a lot of good plays dropped yesterday. So shout out to all of you who won. And then lastly, we have no perfect brackets in our competition after day one. Disappointed in all of you. We got 3 people who went 14 for 16 overall yesterday. So shout out to all 3 of you. If that's one of you in the comments, let us know. And also, if you're in the bracket, make sure it's your Twitter name because I could have tagged any one of you 3 who were in the first, but none of it was your Twitter name. So it is what it is. Sosa, how you doing today on this lovely Friday? It's beautiful out today. Sucks I'm going to be stuck in my poor man's sports book all day that I made in my apartment.
I'm a happy man, bro. Yesterday was a good day. We looked to build on a wonderful day yesterday. This fucking guy, man. This fucking guy.
Not Bakari, the guy behind Sosa. We love
This
Bakari.
fucking guy right here. It's time we have it's time we have a real fucking dialogue about this guy right here. All
I'm
right.
for it.
This guy, I mean, you take away one absolute, super loaded team. He's come on. What the fuck is this? St. Peter's? Are you kidding me? I mean, he didn't fuck up any of my brackets because I never bet on Calipari to win, but like going out first round like this is embarrassing. Absolutely
Cal
embarrassing.
at least usually makes it to the round of 32 or the Sweet 16 before his patent not being able to coach in game comes back and hurts him here. And that's what essentially happened last night. The offensive sets that they were running in the second half and in overtime were just not of Kentucky quality. The other thing was who was running the more clean offensive sets were St. Peter's. The UCLA cut where they ran the play right at the elbow where the guy who just passed the ball faked down to the block and came back up on the double screen for the wide open 3 across the top and just nailed it. That was the changing momentum of the game. You can't go 1 for 6 in overtime. And this was Cal's most senior team. So he tried to break the one and done mold this year. He really doesn't have a top 5 pick for the first time in God knows how long. He tried to do it the different way and it didn't work.
And his best developmental coach to ever coach under him is about to take the job at Louisville. It's a great situation, right? Absolutely great situation. Like I said, I'm just can't believe that like you said, he went against the mold of the one and done, something that we've become accustomed to seeing with Calipari. Just try to get 20 guys in that top 50 in America to just pull up and like he always does. I also think that Shaedon Sharpe not being available also hurt them down the stretch because he could have been really, really fucking good. I'm not knocking his approach this season. All-time great performance by Shibwe. I mean, he was all-time best of his career, I guess. I wouldn't say all-time great, but he played great.
But
play
my
calling.
issue with that was he made the most out of it too, because how many times was he catching the ball like 2 or 3 steps off the block? Like the wings couldn't get the ball into him when he's just sitting there where all he has to do is the drop set. Now you're making him dribble and do 2 or 3 moves and allowing the time for the second defender to come through. And then Kellen Grady and Ty, shout out to Absolute Picks, who's in the spaces. He dropped the stat that those two combined went 3 for 19 from three.
I
Can't
think
do that and expect to win a game.
yeah, that's just that's unacceptable from two guys that you're dependent on to get the job done. And again, we keep talking about them. St. Peter's. Shout out to Shaheen Holloway. Let's give him some respect. Shout out to Jersey. You know, every time I get an opportunity to shout out Jersey, I always do it.
Jersey City, stand up.
Jersey City, the hotbed of college of high school hoops. Best high school hoops in America, Jersey. I've been saying it since this show started. And the best crop of high school basketball in America you're going to get from New Jersey. Like the Jersey City area, we know we're very familiar with St. Pat's. We're very familiar, but Jersey hoops, different, just different.
Shout out to Roddy and the Players Balls podcast. I'm first in their bracket. No one cares, but I'm first. And also, no one cares, but I was a day late to St. Patty's Day, so yeah, it's a leprechaun riding a T-Rex. We're bringing that St. Patty's Day luck a day later. Sosa doesn't need it. I went 2 and 3 on the plays yesterday. Oh, look, he just said it right as we were getting there. Yeah.
I'm blessed, man. Like I said, we got lucky yesterday. I got lucky. You know, a lot of chalk. You know, I got lucky. 5 and 1. It probably won't happen today, but we're gonna try.
I still think the DC area is great high school hoops as well. The DC
no doubt.
area.
I think DC gets a lot of credit because the math is right there, and you've had like some guys like really come out that have shined. But bro, if we're talking hoops, if
J.R. Smith and Cat.
If we're talking high school hoops, bro, Jersey. We can fight that. We can fight to the death about that.
I know Goose isn't in here, man. Or Goose is like sending the longest paragraph right now. Goose, shout out to Goose because he's going nuts. And we got a guy from the Jersey Hoops area in the UAB Houston game. So let's just start with that as the first one as our perfect segue right to it. Where if you're going to shout out Jersey Hoops, we got to make you talk about the UAB standout star. So Sosa, we got a bigger spread here, I guess you can say. 8.5 game, 4.5 there. Everyone's favorite play. The first half team total sitting there at 34 for Houston, 137 overall. Houston likes to play slow. UAB relies on the pace completely. What are you liking here?
I think that a lot of steam is on this UAB team. Obviously, everyone likes them. And then after they won the conference championship, the conference tournament, they had what's my man's name? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Jordan Walker, man.
Right. He got on the TV doing this. Shout out to Finesse the Books, man. If y'all aren't following him on Twitter, you're a fucking bozo. Follow that guy. Follow that guy. Now.
Or Jelly Walker. You could call him either one.
We've seen him really just talk. He talks the talk, he walks the walk. I do believe that this Houston team is gonna match. I think this game mirrors the Providence game from yesterday, where you're getting a lot of steam on a dog, and I don't really know why. To be totally honest with you, I think that this Houston team is poorly seeded. I think, and also like they didn't play the greatest of schedules, but when it comes to talent and coaching, I think they're right there with anyone in America from a consistency standpoint. If we're talking the last 4 seasons, I personally like Houston today. I think Houston actually covers and wins relatively easy.
The 8.5 you're playing -110.
I think so, man. I think this is double-digit win.
I was about to say I can rock it with you as well, just because Houston. I think it's a team that we could potentially fade at the Sweet 16 area. Their path is turning out pretty nicely here. And even though Houston does play in the American, the UAB would fall right in the middle suit, kind of right around where SMU sits if it was crossed over to there. And what did we see Houston do time over time? If you're relying on one player to generate all of your offense, and yes, Jordan Walker has dropped 20 plus in his last 6 games. He had a 40 burger in there as well. I just think Kelvin Sampson's
nails.
just way too good of a coach, and they have Kyler Edwards. They have Fabian White Jr. They have enough bodies, even though they're both bigger, so maybe they won't get on him. They might put sheet on him. They have enough different outlets and possibilities to do it. And the second thing is, on top of that, Houston's going to make UAB play in the half-court set. Yes, Jelly Walker can get a shot at any point in the half-court set by just backing the more disciplined team, the better team overall. That in a half-court game, we're going to rely on it. And UAB, they need to be hot from three here. Teams only shot 29% against Houston on the year. Houston wins the 2-point defensive battle as well.
And that right there is my thing, is the defense of the three-point line. If the only way for UAB to stay in this game, in my estimation, is they have to hit from three. And the versatility that Houston presents to you defensively is an extreme challenge for this UAB team. I feel that they played obviously in an inferior conference. We all know that. I'm not being disrespectful, but the facts are the facts. I also feel like Houston is going to come out here and make a statement. They feel disrespected. When they were playing against Memphis, you could tell they had that level of motivation. Listen, these teams beat us twice. They cover against us all the time. We're going to put them in the coffin. And they beat the shit out of them. I think that it's a carryover from this one. They keep hearing the chirping about UAB this, UAB that. I think Houston comes out here and smacks these boys.
And I think UAB should leave Conference USA and go to the American. I think it'd be a good fit, location-wise as well. I think that's what they should be doing, especially football-wise as well. Be a good move for them.
Absolutely.
I mean, they'd be competitive. That's what I'm saying. They'd fall right in the middle. They're probably better than more than half of the American conference teams. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to have a good battle, but Houston with an 8.5 spread in the American, people did that blindly. They just saw it. So that's what I'm saying. It's a comparable matchup, comparable styles from teams that they've seen, and they'll dictate the pace. We went long on that one. Let's get to, you want to talk Loyola Chicago versus Ohio State, Sister Jean versus the Buckeyes?
The Fighting Sister Jeans.
She going to be sad today?
Are you on anything?
Expecting her to be happy as hell. I know my grandma is.
Are you on anything in this one?
No, I'm not on it. Something just tells me Ohio State wins.
No
to the method. Everyone just seems to be in love with Loyola Chicago, and it's Drew Valentine's first time tournament. Where is the comment? I'm not going to let go. How about them Tar Heels? Hubie made me look dumb yesterday. First time in the tournament, smacked them. Same thing here where Drew Valentine was the assistant at Loyola Chicago, his first time with the team, his first tournament. Holtman's made the tournament every single year at Ohio State, made it all 3 years at Butler. He gets to the tournament. He usually loses early on. So this is just kind of where I think Ohio State should win, but I'm not investing my hard-earned cash because I know you're confident on the Fighting St. Jeans.
Yeah, I think this Fighting Sister Jeans have a shot, man. I like them. I like Loyola in this one. It's not an official play for the show for me, but I have a heavy lead that way, man. I learned the hard way about betting against God. You know what I mean? I guess.
Oh, that's me.
When you have
Come
God
on
your side.
When you have God on your side. Bring out the cannons. We don't have to say that. Come on. She's a nice old woman.
I mean, it's a pick'em, bro. It's a pick'em game. Give me Loyola.
Do you think
Chicago.
E.J. Liddell is one of the most overrated players in college basketball?
I think E.J. Liddell is the Ohio State basketball player that lives in the mold of Jared fucking Sullinger. Do with that information how you feel. They always have one of those motherfuckers that look like Jared Sullinger, like plays like Jared Sullinger, that's going to have a great college career and gets to the league and doesn't do shit. He might not even make the fucking NBA. He's good for college, but I'm good on guys like Mike. He's like just another Mike Sweetney. You know what I mean? If you can even remember him.
Yeah, it's just kind of where I like playing the contrarian angle up here where Loyola Chicago is rolling hot into the tournament. Ohio State's lost 4 of the last 5. Vegas has finally flipped it because I think they're trying to get any potential Ohio State money in here because I think everyone's just back in Loyola Chicago because it's too easy not to. I think Ohio State plays tough, but I definitely don't want to be investing in them at a pick.
Aaron Kraft, shout out the basketball tournament.
All right, my second play, since we're on Houston together, I'm rocking the USC -2, -110. You can take them on the money line if you don't want to be laying the -2 here. This is a game where it's a complete contrast of styles, even though they're not pace-wise, but offensive style-wise. Miami loves to play 5 out. We saw that against Duke, and we saw what they do is they want to get the switch that they want and get to the basket. USC here dominates the paint and dominates the size, and that's just kind of where USC should be able to beat up on Miami's 323rd ranked 2-point defense. USC has the height advantage here. Mobley should be able to eat the whole time. Peterson should go in just as well. We have Boogie Ellis running the point from Memphis last season. Well, respect to Miami. I expected them to beat Duke in the ACC here. I just think this is the time where I'm going to continue to believe that the ACC isn't a strong conference, and USC should be able to dominate them on the inside here. From the three-point battle, Miami could try to turn this game and flip it on the switch with getting the 5 guards out, and USC is going to have to be able to defend the perimeter. So that's where it could get ugly, but I expect USC to pound them on the inside.
Yeah,
you're on mute if you're talking.
I love that look. We talk about contrasted styles. One team's perimeter based. One team's got a little slower of a front court, but a more dominant front court. I didn't originally have any action on this, but I like the play. USC and also Pac-12 basketball. Pac-12 teams tend to play well in the tournament, and Big Ten teams seem to lay eggs. It's just maybe we really don't give a fuck about West Coast basketball. I think that probably is the issue, right? Like, we don't watch them play. Like, what is it?
I can't say. Sosa, how many days in the past 3 days were we live that I warned you not to bet on a Mountain West team to win and only to take them as a spread if they were dogs? Because once again, year over year, man, Mountain West Rex just never looks great with these looks. But let's get into Rory's next question. Shout out to all 100+ of you tapped in with us right now between our outlets. We appreciate all of you. Please give us a like, subscribe, retweet wherever you're watching us. Rory's question, thoughts on Bama, Notre Dame. All analytic websites say this should be a pick 'em. However, the books are trusting Nate Oates and giving them a -4 here. -4.5 at some shops. Over under 153. We saw what Notre Dame can do. They can beat you on the inside with one player if the players don't get hot from the outside. And we know Alabama, it's the wave of all waves to ride. So are we laying the 4 here?
We are. Zero hesitation from me. I think we see Nate Oates and them.
Lost 3 straight games, by the way, too, which is, I love it.
Say it again.
Alabama's lost 3 straight.
Okay, yeah, that all ends today. They're going to come out today and look like a completely different team. They're going to look like a completely different team. They're going to come out, they're going to hit their trays, and they're going to win this game by more than 10 points.
So my biggest reason of Alabama doesn't have the defense from last season whatsoever. The pace
is true.
Definitely was something that this year they've turned it up a little bit more than last year. And plus, they don't have a lottery pick on the roster this year either.
This is a fact.
Alabama's going to be locked in on the defensive end because their last 3 games, the reason why they lost, it wasn't because of their offense. They gave up 80+ in the past 3. And Nate Oates will get the guys to buy back in. Where they were getting burned was just from the inside. Teams didn't hit 10+ threes against them. So it's not where they're burning them right now. That's what Notre Dame thrives on. It's been the 2-point game here. Alabama has the size. We saw Notre Dame has 1 guy, maybe 2 that will burn you from the inside, but we're back in Nate Oates and the boys.
They should have lost to Rutgers. If number 4, the fucking Uber driver, doesn't fumble that game, like Rutgers should have won the game.
Ohio State, LSU live. I know that doesn't answer your question, but LSU live.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, wait till it's live. You might get the number at like 1:15, halfway through the first half. There might.
All right, going into our next game. Rory's just running the show because this is another game we got to talk about. Probably the last big one we didn't hit on. I don't have a play in this one whatsoever. I've convinced myself this can go over, this can go under. Both teams can cover with ease. It's a pick 'em for a reason. Everyone loves to be loving the under here. And I just have to say, if you want to give this a complimentary or contrast game, Sosa said you have to take the rivalry factor out of it. But when Virginia Tech has played other teams that play as slow as them, it's just been UVA. And UVA doesn't have the offense that Texas does. And I don't think any defense in the ACC has strong as a defense as Texas does either. So I think it could be a rough spot for Va Tech that relies on the jump shots. But I could also see Va Tech just shooting Texas out of the gym at the same time. That's kind of just where everything aligns coaching-wise. I'm not trying to say Mike Young isn't a great coach. I mean, he won the ACC and he got his team to buy in. It's hard to go against Beard and the better defense here. And this, I don't think you give a fuck.
I don't. I love Chris Beard, but he's wearing burnt orange now or whatever bullshit color Texas wears, like burnt. It's like baby brown or whatever the fuck it is. I listen. This ain't the Texas Tech teams. And it's something about this Virginia Tech team that I really like. The thing when they played in the AC tournament is that every single night they had someone else go off. I like teams like that, especially when it's a different player from the perimeter. They got guards who can handle the defenses that will be thrown at them, and it's an equal opportunity offense. Whoever's hot that night is going to get their shots. They're also a team that plays like that. They don't give a fuck who's scoring as long as someone's doing it.
Aluma's kind of just your consistent guy night in, night out. The last four, 19, 20, 18, 19. Keeve Aluma, great name to be watching for that not many people know.
And then Couture, like he just goes off in the championship game. Like I said, they've got a multitude of guys that can hurt you. I love Chris Beard. I think I'm on record. I think he'll win a championship within 3 seasons of being at Texas. I think he's a culture-changing coach. He understands how to motivate guys, but I kind of feel like this team's. I think he's maxed out this. I think he's maxed this team out this season. So that's just.
I think
I lead Virginia Tech personally. That's just me. It's not like an official player or I'm telling everybody, but just based on what I've seen over the last month, it's something about this Virginia Tech team that really makes me believe they can make a run. You get hot at the right time. You win one of the hardest conference tournaments to win 4 games in 4 days. Everyone's expectation is that they come out here flat. I think it's the opposite.
Yep. And if Beard had all these transfers and it was the second year that he's had them, I'd be a little bit more confident in it. But has Beard maxed out the cast of transfers because he has 6 of them that contribute on a night in, night out basis, which is tough to do in his first year, but 21 and 11. They've had some time off as well, where Virginia Tech, as Sosa alluded to, had the legs. Probably, and maybe our favorite and easy spot on the board today. Are we doubling up first half and full game, or are we just doing first half with Purdue? The Ivy boys are going to get run today by Jaden Ivey. That's pretty good. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, I think the whole I'm never a big believer in Purdue. But I think this year might be a little bit different. They've never had a perimeter player like a Jaden Ivey. They've had good wings, but he ain't Carson Edwards. He has a legit shot of being that guy. I know Chuck's much higher on him than I initially was. I think he has all the tools to be really good, but he has to put it together in big games. I think this is the first opportunity to do so. I also didn't know that like John Morant's his man's. So anybody that says like John Morant's their guy, I think he embodies a different level of wanting to win. Again, I wasn't high on him at the beginning of the year, but he really might be that guy. I like them to come out here and handle business. Yale should not have won the Ivy League. We all know that they should have gotten clapped by Princeton by 20. You're still trying to figure out how they won that fucking game. Like we're still trying to figure out how they got out the Ivy League. So this right here is a smash spot. If you see, there's a reason why Purdue's favored by 17. They want you to believe that this little run that Yale's been on has been hot. When they're down by 30 at halftime, we're going to quickly forget.
So are we? I don't want to lay points here.
I like
are
the
you laying
team
the
total.
points, or are we just taking the team total here?
Purdue first half team total, it's under 40 right now, which is a steal.
38.5 minus 110 on my book. Lock that in. I mean, it's just you can get Purdue minus 9.5 minus 110. It's just with Purdue right now and laying the big spreads, Yale just doesn't have the offense that's going to get you. Yale, the only way they beat you here is if Purdue goes extremely and absolutely cold. Purdue's defense is just one thing that I will always and try to never buy into, and we still can't this season. We've seen it. That's why we're rocking with the points.
Look at Chuck giving us facts. Azal Swain. What a great name. Shout out to him. Jay Ivey's going to put him on a poster.
I was about to say, other than that, is there any other games that we really want to get into? Because we pretty much hit up all the big ones. We didn't really talk Illinois or Chattanooga, Wisconsin, Colgate. It is
not
what
laying
it
the
is
16 with Texas Tech.
We didn't talk testing. Yeah, I mean, it was so hard to talk about all 16 of them today when we still got to talk NBA action because I know people are waiting around and don't give a shit about March Madness.
No, I think everybody's kind of locked in for both, man. But we can go on to the NBA. I only got 3 plays. You got anything NBA for the people?
Actually, we got to talk this one.
Okay.
Then we can go over.
Okay, fair enough.
Michigan State, Davidson.
Oh, Lord. Y'all know I love Izzo, man. I love Izzo, but I'm not touching this game. I think Izzo and that team they're on life support. They don't got a point guard. Usually when like 9 times out of 10 when he makes a run, he got a point guard. He don't got the point guard. So I'm not I can't. I think Davidson could legit beat them straight up. Like I mean that's the line's close. This Davidson team, they got something to prove, man. They were really, really good in the A-10. And what did we say about A-10 teams yesterday in the NCAA tournament? They don't go out like hoes. A-10 teams do not get smoked in the tournament, bruh. Whoever, if they represent that conference, they come out. They do not get smoked ever. You saw Richmond. I think this might be a prime spot to double up. It's like a 10 o'clock start too. So it's like both teams are starting the game's late as shit. My expectation is I think Davidson figures it out. It's hard for me to bet against Izzo because I'm a huge fan, but he just don't have that guard, bruh. You got to have that guard for real.
Yeah, and Chuck, that's a good point there because Michigan State and Izzo, they don't have the talent, but they have. Not trying to say McCulp's not a good coach, but Michigan State and Izzo, we've seen them be able to scheme one player out. And Foster Lawyer, I mean, he's the offense in the cog for Davidson. Davidson plays 0 defense whatsoever. So even though Michigan State has trouble initiating the offense, we've seen teams like Rhode Island go in there and have no issues putting up buckets on them because Davidson, they'll hit you with a bunch of threes. That's where Michigan State control it from there. Make Brakovich and make Lee beat you. Don't let Foster Lawyer get cooking because when he gets going and he gets 20 plus, it's pretty bad sign for the opponents. The last game we'll get into, I got the first half under 60 minus 110 in TCU Seton Hall. Just going to be a gross game that has both defenses own the 2-point and 3-point categories there. First half under 60. Sosa, NBA time. You're on mute.
Of course I am. I only got 3 NBA looks for tonight. We can actually run through them pretty quickly. I will be having some more on spaces if Chris and Finesse are doing a space. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a space. They've been like extremely consistent with those. So I'll probably have more later. Make sure you guys tune into spaces. But I just want to target just 3 favorable matchups that I really love. The first one is going to be Andre Drummond's rebounds against the Portland Trailblazers at home. Also, it's at 11.5. I think that he is like he's finding his groove with with the Nets. I'm not a big fan of the guy, to be totally honest with you. But at 11.5, knowing that you need production from him, I will take Andre Drummond over 11.5 rebounds at -104. He'll probably get it in the first half, to be totally honest with you. There are no bigs that can really compete with him on the boards for Portland.
Nope.
And
Eubanks has been hitting the spots, but he's just can't compete.
Not against Drummond. Drummond's going to own the paint. I also don't think that any of their big guys give him a problem in regards to foul trouble, which is really the only time he Roddy, shut up. I'm trying not to laugh.
The 90s, or
they're getting 9 points.
No, I was just joking.
Yeah, well,
Hawks, Pels.
Man, listen, I don't listen. We're gonna go to the Philadelphia 76ers versus Dallas Mavericks game.
Huh, who would have thunk that?
Who would have thunk that, right? We're gonna go with what listen, I believe Joel sits out tonight. I think Joel and Harden might fuck around and not play tonight. And in either case, I like the game to go over 215. Since the Sixers have acquired James Harden, our defensive rating has dropped considerably, simply because he don't really guard nobody, and you got to beat teams with scoring if he's on your team. I also say this to say that I never in a million fucking years thought that I would be defending James Harden on the internet, but here we are. Here we are. Like I said, the only thing I like is the over, and that's just based on the trend of if James Harden is playing for your team, you're gonna give up a lot of points. Lakers laying 9 tonight. Obviously, that's because probably LeBron won't play, or maybe,
or that's just that bad,
or Westbrook or somebody. 9 points, bro. This is holy shit. I mean, this is the same Toronto team that just beat the shit out of them in Staples, Crypto.com Arena. I see a lot of people on Atlanta. Atlanta plays better at the crib. We know that. My favorite play tonight, though, is in the Nuggets Cavaliers game, and it's a player performance double. Nikola Jokic double and a win. I think Denver wins this one outright against Cleveland. And Nikola, to get him at a double and a win at that price is just -108. It's a home run. Not to get him on a PPD for a double and a win is usually like -140, -150. I like the matchup against that front line. I think they can do enough to give Cleveland hell. Hawks make a lot of sense for me right now. Yeah, it's hard for me to bet on Atlanta. They've been so inconsistent, especially against a team.
They don't have props up for them yet, man. Is this a smash Morant spot?
It's a smash Morant and Bane spot in the event, but they don't have the props, like you said. But because we all know that John Morant is going to give Trey 50. Now Trey will probably give him the business on the other side as well. I just don't know. I just don't know about taking them. I just don't know about
Chad. I'll recap all the college hoops plays at the end of this show. Don't you worry. We're just about there.
And that's it. That's all I have right now, man. Like you said, props aren't up. The markets aren't up. Things aren't all running smooth right now as far as players being available for you to bet on. So catch me in spaces later. And we'll really lock into the NBA slate with Chris and Finesse when they do the space. So it's just too tough right now for me. It's early. We wanted to make sure that we got college basketball done for you guys. And I don't want to be putting in a bunch of NBA prop bets at 11:35 in the morning when 6 of those motherfuckers might not even play.
Yeah, the one spot that I do like tonight, though, in the NBA, I just want to wait for the injury reports more, even though BI's out. The Pels as dogs definitely seem like a good spot tonight because I think the Spurs are headed in the wrong direction quick, I could definitely see CJ going off tonight.
CJ McCollum double-double holds value every single night that BI's not playing. He just missed a double-double by 1 assist last game, playing a team that plays at a great pace and do not play great defense. Whatever his double-double number, which is probably juiced. Let me look for it. Do they have it?
Let me see.
Yeah, CJ McCollum double-double, definitely worth a sprinkle. You're going to get value. You're going to get extreme value in it as well, I'm sure.
All right. Well, Sosa's bringing up the place. I'll recap my college hoop slate. We're rocking with the Purdue first half team total over 38.5 minus 110.
Fucking props in. My bad.
USC -2 minus 110. Bama -4 minus 110. Houston -8.5 minus 110. And then the TCU Seton Hall first half under 60 minus 110. 5 plays. Sosa, did you have anything else that you gave out? I'm trying to think.
I'm pretty sure we were aligned on all of those, man. That was the look.
You're leaning
Loyola,
Chicago,
like
but that
Loyola.
wasn't official.
Yeah, Loyola, Chicago.
Do we think Auburn shows up today?
I think Auburn shows up today, and then some. I think Bruce Pearl can motivate his team to beat the shit out of a bad team. That's not difficult. It's the good ones we got to worry about.
There's one game that we didn't talk about that we have to talk about, Sosa. I don't know how we missed this. Nova, Delaware.
Oh, of course. Well,
and this is how we'll wrap up the show. Nova, Delaware, then we're done. Sorry, we have to talk Nova, Delaware, man.
My honest opinion, I don't think Delaware scores 50 points today. I don't think Delaware scores 50 points, and I don't think Villanova is going to need more than 60 to beat them. So that would be my take. One of the best college basketball bets that we've had all season is unders in Villanova games. I think Villanova comes out here, plays boring fucking basketball. They don't even get their offensive sets started till the 16-second mark of the shot clock. I think we get an efficient Villanova masterclass tonight. That's my firm expectation. Shout out to Jair Davis, though, playing at Delaware. Him and Bones Highland were both playing against each other in high school, making waves in the CAA. Love to see it.
Yeah, from the Nova perspective here, Jameer Nelson Jr. always got to shout him out. I mean, he's been hot, and they have Painter in the middle as well. Nova's just going to just bully the shit out of him. And it kind of seems like I'd be surprised if they try to keep Samuels out for the first half again, because Nova had those 3 games in 3 days. The legs are getting healthier than they were. Gillespie's just been the all-around do-it guy right now, not missing from the foul line. Yeah, Sosa thinks that they'll win gross. I think they could easily put up 90 because Delaware doesn't play very good defense. But give us a like, give us a subscribe, tap in with Sosa later on today for the NBA player props on Spaces. But until tomorrow, 10:30 pay for play, we out.